bilingual, you're helping, especially with Spanish. Okay? Thank you all very much. I want to challenge, sure, yeah. I want to challenge all of us to actually be able to raise our hand, and I want to challenge all of us to be translators today. And what I mean by that is to translate what has to happen for an event like this to be pulled off, the systems and processes that are in place. Joel's going to talk about that when I'm finished here. But those systems and processes that have been in play for the last number of weeks and months, clear back to the summertime, have to be translated to individuals today. And that's where you come in. You're going to hear, as Joel explains what we do, I'm going to tell you a little bit about why. The easiest way to get presents to some people that need it is not to have an event like this. It's to recruit presents from all of you, and we show up at their doorstep, and they've told us what they want, and it's all wrapped in. But that doesn't add any dignity to this process. It doesn't add any individual value to the people who are receiving. And so we throw a party. So that the kids are coming to a party. They're coming to Winterfest, and they're going to get books, and they're going to play games, and they're going to see Santa, and they're going to get, it's just a fun event for them while their parents are shopping. It adds dignity to the process because our parents are downstairs choosing their own gifts for their own kids and making their own choice, taking it home and wrapping it. It adds a lot of dignity to the process of charity, which is what we want to be about. The goal of our Winterfest leadership team is to not, at some point, not have to have this event. We're trying to work ourselves out of a job here because nobody needs it. That would be the ideal, right? But until that day comes, we want to have an event that is, as much as we can, a hand up and not just a hand out. And that's where you come in today, is that you have to be translators of the values that we put in place with systems. Most of us are, Joel, Tiffany, or those of us on the leadership team, just kind of systems thinkers, and we think in details, and we think about process, and he's going to tell you about the process. But in order for this to be good for the individual, you have to translate the value of joy. And you have to translate the value of dignity, and the value of an individual. And you have to translate the value of fun today. And so if you're greeting, you need to pretend you're at Nordstrom's and they are the customer. There are no clients here today. There's a biblical value of consider others above yourself. That has to be in play today. Has to be in play. If this is a checklist for you, where you're just going to check off the charity box at Christmas time, and you'll leave here at noon or 1 and go on your way, and well, I did that, now I can feel good about myself, then you've missed it. You've missed why we're doing it. You've missed the why behind why we're doing it. This day needs to not be about you. This needs to be about the people who are coming here. And I just want to help you see just for a moment, this is a tough day for most of the people who are coming. For our guests who are coming, they don't want to have to come to an event like this. And so it's especially difficult on the male ego to come to an event like this. Okay, so do your Nordstrom's best in terms of customer service. That's why we asked you to walk from the PLU lot and save the best parking spots for our guests who are coming. It's why we throw a party. It's why we have greeting. It's why we've got food. It's why we want to be smiling. And let me challenge you especially that as you get hungry, and most of you Lutz probably came straight out of bed, didn't get breakfast, right? And so as you get hungry and hangry, about 11 o'clock, we encourage you to push through that and to treat the way you're going to treat people at 9 o'clock, you treat them the same at 11 o'clock, and at 12 o'clock when our last people are going through, to be just as joyful and just as valuing of the individual. Okay? Final thought. What would you say, what is broadly considered the best way out of poverty? Education, absolutely. Education is widely considered in developing countries, in addition to here in the United States. Education is considered the best way out of poverty. So I don't know how many conversations you're going to have today, but you'll hear Joel talk about we send the parents through the resource area for the purpose of education. Most of you, the vast majority of you, are going to be working with kids in this space here, and it's going to be crazy, it's going to be loud, and it's going to be a little frenetic. And let me encourage you to have some conversations, to get down on their level, to get down on your knee, and then you're taking them through the games for the third time because you're waiting for the parents to come up. Have some conversations about the value of education. How are you doing in school? How are your grades? Encourage them to keep going. Because education is the best way out of poverty, and that's what we want to be about. Help up today. A hand up, not a handout. So how many of you are translators? Yeah, every hand. Every hand goes up. We're all going to translate. We're all going to translate the system of Winterfest to an individual. We're going to translate joy, generosity, dignity, the value of the individual. That's the challenge for us today, and thank you all for being here. Give yourself something.